Jacksonville and New England playoff ramifications, and away we go with Edelman taking it at the 1-yard line for the New England Patriots. Head on. Middleton, the rookie, brings him down at about the 16-yard line. Morris is in motion from the 17 for Brady, and you see the allotment of receivers. There's an extra defensive back in there, and it is first down and 10. And they go to Welker. It's up to the 24-yard line. Now Maroney in the backfield on 2nd down and 3. 4 in the secondary. Little block out there by Benjamin Watson. You see Cox along with others, including Durant. This is Maroney. There's a nice block in there by Conley. He's got the first down. Cox makes the stop. That is a gain of 9. Dan Conley, the guard, left side, was leading the way.
Yeah, go with heavy personnel and watch the block, the kick out on Quentin Grove, and that's where the seal is. And of course you get an alley where they're able to extend for the first down. Expect the Patriots to come out throwing the football. I know we have bad weather. This isn't bad weather when it comes to throwing the ball for Tom Brady.
Back to 5 in the secondary. It is 1st and 10. This is Kevin Falk. There was a nice block by the wide receiver Aiken, and that unleashes Falk down to the 47-yard line. And he was brought down on the play by Anthony Smith. An 18-yard run after a 9-yard first down run by Maroney.
You have to be able to make the unblocked defender miss, and this is exactly what happened to the rookie Cox, 21. He was unblocked, should have made the tackle on Kevin Falk, but Falk has been doing this for a number of years. Look at him. Make the unblocked defender miss. That's where extra yards are to be gained at the second level of the defense.
4 in the secondary, and it's 1st and 10. Maroney is back in. There's extra wide receivers out there. In fact, one of them now is a tight end in motion. That is Baker, the ex-Jet. Baker gets the fall hit by Russell Allen and runs into one of the officials after a 6-yard pickup, 41-yard line. They wanted crisp. They wanted to dictate the tempo. They're doing that on this first possession.
And they're doing it with a good mix of run and pass. So far, 5 plays on this drive. 3 of them have been run plays. That's a surprise to me. I know it's a surprise to Jack Del Rio as you take a look at Bill Belichick going against maybe what the opponent is thinking that they're going to do. Jack Del Rio said we expect him to come into this game, spread us out, and throw the ball with Tom Brady.
Every week you and I talk about an offense capturing that rhythm and that tempo early in a game.
Absolutely. I think it's needed, particularly for the quarterbacks, to get going.
2nd and 4 with the fake to Maroney. This is Walker. Catch number 111. Brought down by Cox, the rookie quarterback, 15-yard pickup. So on this drive, 9-yard run by Maroney, 18-yard run by Falk, and 15 right there to Welker.
See the linebacker, see how they're close to the line of scrimmage. The play fake causes them to step up to the line of scrimmage, creating room on the second level for Wes Welker. See, those linebackers have to get deeper in their coverage to try to help underneath Derek Cox, the corner who's matched up in man-to-man coverage. Wes Welker will eat you alive over the middle of the field if you don't get help from your linebacker.
Well, he reads defense as well, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
The 7th play of the drive. It started back at the 17-yard line. This is Maroney. Palmer was leading him in there, and then he breaks the tackle on the play of Cox, and then is run out of bounds. Cox, the rookie, couldn't bring him down. Another 9-yard run. Alexander brings him down at about the 17-yard line.
Watch number 21, Derek Cox. See, he's the unblocked defender. They expect their corners to be able to make these kind of tackles, and when you miss, it's going to result almost always into a first down for the other team, or at least a huge gain. And an 8-yard run on that play, and you can see New England's just moving the ball down the field. Good mix of run and pass for 66 yards.
Conley was in the backfield. This is Maroney on 2nd down and 1. Conley plays guard. He's down to the 15-yard line, picking up 2 on the play, and they had a host on there, including Henderson and Terrence Knighton. So running the ball better. And you know, they talked in the papers this week in the Boston area about how the tight ends have gotten in there in terms of run blocking for this Patriot offense.
Benjamin Watson, Chris Baker are big guys who can not only catch the ball down the field, I think they're versatile players, and that's what Bill Belichick wants. Not just tight ends who can catch it, but you got to be able to run in terms of your ability to run the football.
One of those tight ends, Watson in motion right now with his 1st and 10. The fake to Maroney. Here's Watson. Alexander tries to knock him out, and he's down at the 1-yard line. Nice catch and run by Ben Watson. 26th reception of the season. 14-yard pickup, first and goal for the New England Patriots.
Ben Watson, we told you the run blocking, but now he gets to catch the ball. You do the dirty work, and now you get to have fun. And if he elevates, the big guy might go in for a touchdown. So he does the dirty work. Versatile players are the guys who catches the eye of Bill Belichick.
He's always had versatile players, though, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Got to be able to do more than just one thing. And now as they're knocking on the door of the goal line, let's see. When most teams expect to run it, they usually go with a play fake to the tight end.
LaVore is in as a tackle eligible on the left side. They go to the right side on first and goal, and this is Maroney. And no signal yet from the official. Did he get in? Nope. In fact, the Jaguars think the ball was loosened, and there goes the linebacker Smith, who's going to go all the way.
They're going to say it was a fumble.
It was a fumble on the 1-yard line by Maroney. Now, he has fumbled 4 times this season. He has lost all 4, including that one right there. That is a huge turnover for Bill Belichick's Patriots.
And the running game had been working for this team. Here's the announcement. Is that what we're going to get from the official? No, they're going to just say it's Jaguar ball. There's no dispute at this point. Let's take a look at it. Maroney pounds it right in there. Of course, it's a massive bite. There's the ball down there on the ground. We did see it come out and hit the ground while he was still on his feet.
Well, no one has more red zone takeaways, and no one has more first drive takeaways than the Jacksonville defense.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. New England
It was inconclusive.
their first team timeout and has 1 challenge remaining.
But I think, Solomon, if you got
Jacksonville,
this officiating crew in a room, they would say circumstantial evidence would say that it dropped, but we could not see the body nor the ball, and if it did cross up higher in the play.
You couldn't see him penetrate the goal line with the ball in his possession. They just saw the ball come out, and so it was called a fumble on the field, and so they have to uphold the call on the field. They had no evidence conclusive enough to overturn it.
So Maroney with his 4th fumble. And look where quarterback David Garrard is marooned. It is 1 with Jones-Drew in the backfield and a quarterback keeper. He's one of the best running quarterbacks in the NFL, and strong too, as you can see him follow the block. He's brought down by Ron Brace after a gain of 4. Jordan Black is an extra offensive lineman on the right side. And you can see he just goes right into the pile. Gerard Mayo is right there and limiting him to a gain of 4. He's up to about the 8-yard line on the play. Jones-Drew will for the block. Broke a quick tackle and takes it inside. Mayo once again was in there, and he's out to about the 12-yard line. Picks up 2 on the play, and he'll be close to a first down. So hard to grab onto. He's 5'7", and they had some. There is a first down right there. They had some extra tackling practice this week in the New England practice camp.
Bill Belichick said, hey, we did take some extra tackling drills simply because Maurice Jones-Drew is such a difficult guy to tackle. He doesn't give you a usual body, doesn't give you a large space to wrap up, and then he's strong and powerful in the lower body, so he usually creates yards after contact.
Brock Bowen is coming as the fullback in that offset eye on a first down and 10 from the 12. Jones-Drew. Easter with the block, Bowen with the block, and you see the pile, and Guyton was among the men. Look at the old knock for dear life. Looked like the ball may have been jarred free, but I think he held on to it. It was a gain of 14 yards. He moved Guyton at the bottom of the pile, and they're going to spot him at the 25. How did he move a pile being that small?
Well, the problem is, now watch the defenders. They're all trying to rake the ball out. See, they're trying to get the ball out instead of making the tackle. So while you're clawing and raking for the ball, he's still churning his legs. We talked about the powerful lower body, and so that's what you have to wrap up. It's like being in the rodeo. If you want to get him on the ground, you got to rope the legs.
Ride 'em Cowboy. They got right now at the nose tackle. Warren is coming as the left end. 4 straight runs. It is a first down. Jones-Drew. Manawai leading the way, and Wright was over there with a couple of kind of just tripped really over his own blocking on a gain of a yard out to the 27-yard line.
And Jack Del Rio knows that they have to run the ball. They have to continue to feed it to Maurice Jones-Drew. The more that you can run it, you can eat time off the clock and keep Tom Brady standing on the sideline next to Bill Belichick. The way to stop this offense here in New England is to not give them the ball.
Wright stays as the no tackle. Second down and 9. New running back, the rookie Rashad Jennings out of Liberty. And it's caught. Torrey Holt, one of the best in the business. Thomas on the move. And the end around, chased by Bantakane. Hit by Merriweather. Oh, what a great stick. Did he get the first down? No gain on the play. Looks like Jacksonville will have to boot it away. Let's see where they spot that ball. Shy of the first down.
We told you this is a defense getting better by the day. He breaks contain, but watch the lip by Merriweather, swarming from that secondary level, and he had a bead onto the ball carrier, Mike Thomas, stopping him before he could hit the first down.
Did you like the call?
I love the call. You have to do some things. They had run it consecutively right at the line of scrimmage. Jack Del Rio and Bill Belichick will go for it on fourth down.
No one does it more than these two teams, especially Jacksonville. 4th and 1. Jones drew. Hit by Sanders. Drilled back to the 35. Oh, what a stick.
By Jack Del Rio.
We'll talk about that in a second. Here from the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. This is Sammy Morris getting a big block on the play from Copen. Look at him. Push the pile. He was hit by Cox and brought down in the secondary after a dazzling run of 21 yards down to the 14-yard line, 1st and 10.
This is why you don't do it. Look, they slid him right there. And then watch him find the alley. He'll cut it back away from the safety to get to the second level. And if you give the Patriots offense great field position, they'll take advantage of it. And I thought that Jacksonville really could have taken the crowd out of it and really knocked Tom Brady and this offense back on the other side of the 50-yard line.
Morris remains on 1st and 10. A block there by Benjamin Watson. A tackle made by the former first-round pick. That's Derek Harvey on a gain of 3. He's down to the 11-yard line. It is 2nd down and 7. Nothing to Moss yet. He's atop your screen. Falk is in the slot. 2nd and 7. Fulmer with the nice block at that right tackle. Belted on the play by Smith, the ex-Steeler, the ex-Packer, the ex-Ram, now Jaguar. It's a gain of 7. And he is down to about the 2.
And watch him come flying up. Wes Welker, little guy, taking lifts. Wow. Anthony Smith comes in, dropped the hammer on the small Wes Welker. But, boy, he's been taking hits like that in the 3 years he's been with the Patriots. Over 100 receptions each over those 3 seasons. Tremendous production.
112 now on the year. Up in the backfield, 1st and goal at the 2. Edelman is in as one of that trio of wide receivers there on top of your screen. Look at the time for Brady. Randy Moss, 2-yard touchdown reception in the back of the end zone. He beat Rasheed Mathis. He was working on Anthony Smith.
Tom Brady is feeling it. He was as comfortable standing here in the pocket. You talked about it all the time. Look, he pump fakes it, wants to go there. He waits till the second window of opportunity to get the ball over to Randy Moss for a touchdown. He wanted to pull the trigger earlier, was able to pull back and then cut it loose for a touchdown.
Touchdown reception number 146 in this terrific career of Randy Moss. 11th of the season. Gostkowski with the kickoff. Remember, the Patriots did fumble at the 1 and got some breathing space by Garrard in that offense, but they went for it on 4th and 1 and could not convert. Here's Jones Drew to the 25-yard line. Navarre gave him a block. After the Brady touchdown pass to Moss and the ensuing kickoff from the 26, 1st and 10. Rookie Myron Pryor now playing that nose tackle. They began with Brace. Will Fork inactive today. 1st and 10 pass by Garrard. Right on the money and then dropped. Jones Drew. Eugene Monroe tries to make a block. Pryor around his ankles. Gain of 4 to the 30-yard line.
And we're seeing a heavy dosage of run by the Jacksonville Jaguars. In their 10 offensive plays, they've run it 8 of the 10 times, most of them going to Maurice Jones-Drew. I do believe sooner or later you're going to have to make some plays throwing the football with David Garrard, and they've got to be able to complete a high percentage of those throws. Yeah, I believe running the ball helps you dominate time of possession, helps you to keep Tom Brady over on the sideline, but sooner or later to match them in terms of their point production, you got to throw it.
Look at one down line. Now they put Bantakane in a 3-point stance with Burgess on the near side. 3rd and 6. That was caught. Thomas makes the grab, diving on the near side. He was working on Wilhite, 38-yard line. That was a pickup of 8 on the play. Thomas, a great receiver in the Pac-10.
Yeah, you don't see any guys with their hand on the ground because that's how you identify in terms of your pass protection. And so they're trying to confuse the young offensive lineman for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Remember, they're playing with 2 rookie offensive tackles, and with guys like Vince Wilfork out of today's game, they figure that's the best way the Patriots could get pressure on David Garrard.
1st and 10. Bolin is the fullback. Maurice Jones-Drew stiff arms his way by Banta Kane. Pryor back in at the nose, 2nd down and 2. Maurice Jones-Drew pulling block by Britton, the right tackle. Block 2 downfield by Mike Sims-Walker. That's a gain of 11 yards and really kind of forced out of bounds on the near side by Jonathan Wilhite. We're going to spot him at the 42.
This is Bill Belichick's worst nightmare. See, they're able to control and seal the edge. Once you seal this edge and get the kick-out block there, that's how you get your running back to the 2nd level. They do not want to allow Maurice Jones-Drew to break, contain, and get to the edge of the defense. You can see he's not happy with the way they defended that run play.
Buffalo early last week against New England ran with success on the edge.
Absolutely, and if Maurice Jones-Drew can do that all day, it's going to be a long day for the Patriots defense.
Rookie Jennings in the backfield, 1st and 10. Manaway with the block at the guard. That's intercepted. That's picked off by Brandon Merriweather. His 5th of the season. Getting a block from Mayo, getting a block from Guyton, and there he goes. Getting a block from Thomas. Getting a block downfield from Ty Warren. The quarterback brings him down. 57-yard return. Down to the 27-yard line.
David Garrard knew he had to make this tackle because Mercedes Lewis is the tight end over the middle. Look at this. He's 6'6". How do you overthrow him when 3 defenders are around? And we say you intercept all tips and overthrows. This is what Brandon Merriweather does. But watch David Garrard. Stays alive, makes the tackle even when they tried to block him. I think that's an incredible defensive play by David Garrard, even though it was a poor throw over the middle.
Octavius Stanley has come on the defensive line. The Jacksonville Jaguars 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. And Falk brings it in. Mathis around his ankles and a gain of a yard down to the 26-yard line. Conley back in at that right guard. He and Neal will go back and forth today. 2nd and 9. In the backfield is Morris. Start of the 2nd quarter. 2nd consecutive start in Jacksonville territory for Brady in the offense. Morris with a block on Smith. That's a touchdown to the tight end, Chris Baker. 26-yard strike by Tom Brady. And they cash in on the Merriweather interception.
And the Patriots know that they can throw the ball whenever they want. Simply because, Kevin, there's no pass rush on Tom Brady. So they can allow the defenders to get down the field. Now watch the protection here. A very clean pocket. He slides to his left, throw the ball down the field, and Chris Baker's always been more than just a run blocker. He's an athletic tight end that can make catches in traffic, and he rewards his quarterback by making the play there.
7 years with the Jets, originally a 3rd-round pick by New York. A 26-yard throw by Brady with his 2nd touchdown pass. He's over 4,000 yards for the year. Gostkowski swings his leg through with touchdown passes to Moss and to Baker. Here's the ensuing kickoff by Gostkowski. This will drive Maurice Jones-Drew back about 8 yards and out to the 20-yard line with the touchback. It'll be 1st down and 10 yards to go. Here comes Garrard.
Chris Baker, the tight end, against a linebacker in coverage.
Seau is in with the 1st and 10 handoff to Maurice Jones-Drew. Hit by Warren. You see the tackle right there made by Gerard Mayo. It's a gain of 2 to the 22-yard line. What a fantastic year Breeze is having.
He's having an MVP-type season, and there's several other quarterbacks part of that conversation.
2nd and 9. Hit as he throws. Garrard gets it downfield. It was caught at the 35-yard line. A big-time catch and a pickup of 15 on the play. It was Holt who makes the grab at the 35.
Well, you got to keep your quarterback clean, and watch this hit. Now, he was able to complete that pass. Tully Banta-Kane was able to put the pressure on the quarterback, but I think those kind of hits have an accumulative effect. It forces the quarterback to step back, and when you throw off your back feet, you're going to throw the ball high. and the ball's going to sail on you. I think that's what happened on that previous interception to Brandon Merriweather.
And like we said before, he's the most hit quarterback in the NFL.
Absolutely, and so he's got to be able to stand in there to deliver an accurate pass.
Great time for Garrard on 1st and 10. Maurice Jones-Drew. First down. Tailed across the way. Bantakane forces him out of bounds. A catch and run of 14. I think he's having a Pro Bowl season at the quarterback position for the Texans.
JB, Gary Kubiak is dialing up big pass plays in that offense.
1st and 10 pitch. Maurice Jones-Drew chased by Adalus Thomas and out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage. Jennings, the rookie out of Liberty, in the backfield. 2nd down and 10. Jennings began at Pitt and then transferred to the smaller Liberty school. Nice contorted catch by the wide receiver, Torrey Holt. 18-yard pickup. He was working on Lee Bodden, the ex-Cleveland Brown.
This is just
on a flag was thrown.
Wow.
And it was on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's a killer.
2nd down.
That is a killer. That was a nice gain and a good catch.
The play is going to come back. David Garrard, you could tell, was working in really good timing with his wide receiver, Torrey Holt, working on Lee Bodden. And now Garrard's got to go back to work. The penalties can hurt you, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are one of the least penalized teams in the National Football League.
2nd down and 15. That was the first penalty of the game. Jennings remains in the backfield. Wright is now playing the nose tackle on that defensive line. 2nd and 15. Jennings has it across the way and knocked out of bounds by the 13-year veteran Springs. It's a gain of 2. Solomon will put him at the 47-yard line.
Now guess what? The Jacksonville Jaguars, they are the best in the National Football League at converting 3rd and 10 or longer. Bill Belichick even pointed it out when we met with him. He says, you know, they don't have a problem with getting 3rd and long. Most teams try to avoid this situation. This is where Jacksonville's offense has been at its best.
They're good 3rd and short and 3rd and long, too. They're just a good 3rd down team.
Yeah, and that's because of the mobility of their quarterback, David Garrard.
That's a good point. 3rd and 13. Extra defensive backs out there, including Jonathan Wilhite. They need the 40. This is the former college quarterback making the grab, a 4-yard gain on the near side. That was the tight end, Zach Miller. They don't get the first down, and they're going to have to punt the ball.
Good, smart coverage by the New England Patriots. They did what we call defending the sticks. You defend the first down marker, force them to check it down underneath, and then you rally to make the tackle on Zach Miller. Exactly what they were able to do there. So not giving up that first down to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They got a gain of 4. Wilhite makes the stop at the 49-yard line of New England. And here's the first punt of the game by Adam Hadley. Great rush put on by Arrington. Almost got the ball for New England. The Massachusetts area. Brady 7 of 7, 1st and 10. We just saw a punt by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And here comes the shifty Falk, who runs into a throng of defenders, including Navarre. It's a gain of 5, and Falk out to the 20-yard line. And 2nd down and 5. Morris now in the backfield. Brady has thrown 2 touchdown passes today, got over 4,000 yards for the season. Good block by Conley at the guard over Moss. That was intercepted, or was it trapped? Incomplete and trapped, and it was almost picked off by the former Pro Bowler Rasheem Mathis.
Brady has 2 guys in that area. You're not so sure if he wanted to get it to Moss or Wes Welker behind them, because rarely does he overthrow this kind of pass.
You're right. You're right. First incompletion today.
There's 2 guys in the air, so you had to wonder. I think he was trying to get it to Randy Moss, but the ball did hit the ground. It was not intercepted. Moss still nearly caved down with it, as Rasheem Mathis tried to get the interception.
Mathis is playing with a bad groin injury. 3rd down and 5. Falk in the backfield. Extra defensive backs out there for the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's great pressure applied by Derek Harvey on the quarterback. It's an incomplete pass on the near side for Edelman. Coverage on the play by Smith. 3 and out for the New England Patriots, and a good defensive series for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And this was meant to be a rollout play for Tom Brady, and that time Jack Del Rio was able to get some pressure as Derek Harvey was able to come off and get pressure on Tom Brady, forcing him to throw it away.
Thomas and Hughes are deep back for the Jacksonville Jaguars at the 40, and this punt will come from former Jaguar punter Chris Hansen with the Jaguars from 01 through 2006. Hampton is about 40 yards per punt this year. Long snap from Jake Ingram, a rookie from Hawaii. Thomas, 37-yard line.
Expect them to go back to the ground game. Anytime you get that I formation, it's heavy run or play action down the field.
Pryor playing the nose tackle on this defensive series. First down and 10. Fake to Maurice Jones-Drew. Here comes the rush. King knocks it away, and it was recovered by the right tackle, Evan Britt, the rookie, at the 30-yard line. Loss of 8 on the play. Great pressure on Garrard.
Anytime you have a play action fake, it requires protection. But see, the protection breaks down coming from that blind side, and they sort of pinch the pocket. Tully Bantakane getting the hit. They are able to get the ball out. David Garrard's got to be able to protect the football. 8 fumbles. That's his 9th one so far this year, and he's fumbled 6 times inside the red zone.
6 defensive backs. We'll have 2 down linemen, including Bantakane on the near side. No, he's going to stay up. Only 1 guy is down. Second down and 18. There was Thomas Bantakane. Tully Bantakane. That's a loss. No, a gain of about a yard up to the 31-yard line.
Maurice Jones-Drew filling some big shoes in Jacksonville. He and Fred Taylor, of course, when he began his career, Fred Taylor's been a mentor for him. They work out in the offseason here in Fort Lauderdale, and I think if Fred Taylor is here, he's the number 1 guy, and then number 2. Didn't get a chance to show you Maurice Jones-Drew, but Fred Taylor pumping the iron. Both guys have a great relationship. And boy, has he did a good job mentoring Maurice Jones-Drew for the 4 years he's been in Jacksonville.
Burgess, the only down lineman, sits in the secondary, 3rd and 16. Blitz was on. Mike Sims-Walker, first catch today, 42-yard line, and brought down by Sanders. That's a gain of 10. They got to punt once again. They're going to spot the ball at the 42.
You talk about filling some big shoes. Look, first in just about every category is Fred Taylor. And right behind him, Maurice Jones-Drew. And you know, the leadership of Fred Taylor had been questioned by comments he made. Then Jack Del Rio questioned his leadership. And he even told us when we met with him yesterday that he thought that he kept a lot of guys on that football team out of trouble in Jacksonville. And he thought the way he mentored Maurice Jones-Drew was proof positive of the leadership he provided while he played with the Jags.
Conley's with the punt. Welker was deep back, lands, as you see, at the 25-yard line. Neal back at the right guard. Kevin Folk. He blocked by Edelman, who was in there as a...
He's looking for more. They're going to keep throwing it because the pass rush can't get home.
Second down and 4. Welker, another catch. Drilled by Smith. Close to a first down, gain of 3 to the 35. It's not like the Indianapolis Colts where they have the same kind of offense every week. The Patriots change things from week to week depending on the opponent.
Yeah, they do change it. This thing is pretty consistent. Getting it to Wes Welker, and he's taking some licks in this game today. And you talked about it, of course, we did with Tom Brady. He says, you know, we have 15 core plays each and every week, but they have another 35 to 40 plays that are new each and every week. So he has to be able to come out and practice, and boy, are they good at keeping the defense off balance.
Conley is the fullback. He's a guard, and Morris in the backfield. 3rd down and 1. There's a clock by Conley. That springs Morris free, and there he goes. Breaking a tackle of Smith. Chased by Cox. Look at him gallop inside the 15 and down to the 10. Sammy Morris running with abandon. 55-yard gain down to the 10 of Jacksonville.
On short yardage and goal line plays, you crowd the line of scrimmage with so many defenders there. Once you're able to pop through, there's no one but Reggie Nelson who can't get him at the point of attack. And Sammy Morris, when he is healthy, boy, is he one of the better backs in our league. And he's able to get to the second level. He's in his 10th season, but you can see still has the speed to break off big run plays.
It is 1st and 10. Falk at the bottom of your screen. 5 in the Jacksonville secondary. Right with the block at the left tackle. Welker knocked out of bounds. Niftily by the rookie Middleton at about the 3. Welker with a gain of 9. That was catch number 114 of the season, a career high.
Yeah, he is the guy that has continued to put up huge numbers, over 100 receptions each of the 3 years he's been with the Patriots. He even told us, he said, it's been staggering and quite surprising to himself the kind of production that he's had. He said, hey, but you're playing with Tom Brady, and they play in a system that we talked about that changes a little bit each and every week to keep the defense off balance, keep them guessing, so you can't lock in on either him or Randy Moss.
Conley in the backfield, 2nd down and 1. And that's Sammy Morris close in there. They also had Lavorian as a tackle eligible on the right side that time. That'll be 3rd down and very, very close. That makes it interesting. That kind of keeps the players on their toes, but I just felt the Patriot players believe in their coaches and the game plan they get more so than a lot of players around the NFL. They have such great trust in them.
Here's the key. They want versatile players, and that way when they define a specific role for a player, say like Wes Welker, he's so versatile that they can change his role from week to week so the defense doesn't quite know what they're going to get.
Conley again back there, 1st and goal. Conley leads the way for Morris over the left guard. That is a touchdown. Sammy Morris. 1-yard touchdown run. With the guard as the fullback, walking and leading the way, Dan Conley.
Sammy Morris started off the drive, and he finishes it with the plunge into the end zone for a touchdown. He goes down right at the goal line, but the official is holding up both arms, signaling a score.
That look says it all. Hard to figure out this team, this Jacksonville team. One week they look terrific, the next week they falter, and on the road it's not been very pretty.
Well, they're a very young team. 32 new guys, 16 of them are rookies, and 10 of them playing big roles in this game today.
That's Gostkowski.
Tom Brady said, yeah, they had only scored an average of 18 points in their last 4 games. He said, but we haven't lost our confidence.
Maurice Jones-Drew from the 3. At the 25-yard line. One of the great stories in the NFL is a story about these Patriots and their current owner, Robert Kraft, who was a longtime season ticket holder, went with his family as young boys, and they had bought season tickets, and he would go to these games. Eventually, he buys the team back in 1994.
There he is.
They win 3 championships. He builds this beautiful stadium, the complex around it. And he has been such a great citizen for New England,
yes,
but in particular for the National Football League.
And he's a visionary, and he has made, I think, not only this a better team, but he's made our league better.
Yep.
In terms of some of the things that he has done. Just a wonderful businessman and a fine person.
Pryor back at that nose tackle from the 26, 1st down and 10. This is Jones-Drew against the 15th ranked run defense. Mike Wright was right there. Wright had a great game last week. Banza Kane giving him an assist, a loss of 1. On the tackle of Jones-Drew, Solomon back to the 24-yard line.
Well, we said they had to get their mojo back, and I think they've done that on both sides of the ball. On offense, you can see Tom Brady is clicking, and now the defense is getting their swagger. Telly Banza-Kane, he's played lights out the last few weeks. And Bill Belichick, he knows he's got a lot of young defenders. Everybody knows about the big plays they gave up against the Colts and the Saints. But this young group of defenders, I'm telling you, they're getting better each and every week.
Yankovic is in there. Look at, they're playing like the shell game right there defensively. 2nd down 11. Maurice Jones-Drew tackled by Mayo up about the 31-yard line. When Belichick was asked about, who does 5'7" Maurice Jones-Drew remind him of, he quickly said Joe Morris, a guy that he coached with the Giants in New York.
And you remember Joe Morris was a tough guy to tackle. Maurice Jones-Drew is that guy. Bill Belichick knows that you've got to get all 11 defenders to the ball. You can't let him get to the edge of the defense, and you hem him in, and then you've got to swarm to him. Kennedy Pola, their running back coach, Coach Yee, and Fred Taylor in Jacksonville.
6 in the secondary, including Wilhite. 3rd down and 5. Blitz by Wilhite. Outside for Jennings. And brought down by Mayo. Gain of 3. Got a punt once again. He gets as far as the 35-yard line.
This is when defense, playing it is a lot of fun, when you can swarm to the ball. Watch when this ball come out of the hands of David Garrard. Now watch the blue shirts. You got 1. You got 2. They're not missing tackle. Look, everyone's flying around, swarming. Makes it very difficult to break tackles and create yards after the catch when all 11 guys are flying around to get a lick on the ball carry.
And now, leading 21-zip, you can really tee off on the quarterback.
Absolutely.
Modler's with the punt. Deep back is Welker on the 24. Time of 4-1. Oh, was he drilled on the play. It was a nice hit by Brian Ewu, reserve linebacker. Good special teams guy. Neal stays at the right guard. Falk in the backfield. It's 1st and 10. Outside, Welker. Another catch. Moss with the block. And there you see Smith out there. Mathis trying to bring him down. Look at Welker, undrafted. In fact, he was hardly recruited after being the running back of the year in the state of Oklahoma. Goes to Texas Tech and sets records. Undrafted goes to San Diego. Waived after 1 game. Goes to Miami. That's where New England discovered him with the Dolphins.
Small in stature, big in heart. Now watch him finish off this run as they're clawing after the ball. But then he goes down. He's got a little elbow under the chin of Anthony Smith.
That was a gain of 9 to the 42, and Anthony Smith is down. He's been cut a couple times in camp with Green Bay, then went to St. Louis, cut by the Rams, and picked up by Jacksonville. Morris in the backfield gets the call, 2nd down and 1. They're big John Henderson rolling him up. We're at the 2-minute warning. It's 1st down and 10 from the 44. Considine now taking the place of the injured Smith in the secondary at the safety for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brady with 2 touchdown passes today. Got a good block from Logan Mankins. This is Welker. Gets by Alexander and twirls his way inside the 30. 29-yard pickup. Another big game for Welker. Mathis was right there. 1st down.
This play takes a long time to develop, but whenever you got the protection, see, Welker starts up the field, then he comes all the way out. That takes a while to develop to get him to that area of the field, but the protection was so great. The pass rush is posing no threat for Tom Brady, who's growing ever so comfortable in the pocket.
Stanley on the defensive line. 1st and 10 for Brady. Outside for Sammy Morris, who has a touchdown run and a 55-yard gallop on top of that 1-yard touchdown run. He picks up 3 right there. Fulmer with the block at the right tackle. Oh, that shifty Welker makes a catch once again. Hit in the play across the way by Middleton. Picks up 12. That's a 1st down. Solomon to the 12.
Now, did we tell you that Wes is more? Because he's already caught the ball 8 times in the first half. And he's going to get even more. Who do you just take away on this offense? Do you stop Wes Welker, or do you go after Randy Moss? Either way, they're going to get you.
Pick your poison. 1st and 10. Fulmer down to the 6. And on top of him was Cox, the rookie cornerback. And he's got to gain a 6.
Now, I talked to Tom Brady and I said, hey, you guys, the last 4 games only averaging 18 points a game. That's down from the 29 points a game in their previous 10 contests. He says, you know, this only takes a little bit. Takes the running game get going, maybe converting a few more 3rd downs, and we'll score more points. And boy, did he live up to that so far here in the first half.
Neal at that right guard. 2nd down and 4. Brady to the end zone. Another touchdown. 3rd of the day. 2nd to Moss.
This is just way too easy. So you don't get the proper depth. See, they just split everyone. And they go at what we call a high-low. Wes Welker underneath, and then Randy Moss to the back of the end zone. If you jump Wes Welker, they'll get you with Moss on the back end.
Randy Moss with 12 touchdown receptions this season. And 147 for his what could be a Hall of Fame career, Gostkowski. It's 28-0 New England. Throwing touchdown passes. He's done it 3 times today. Moss for 2 of them. We began the broadcast talking about how his effort has been debated by experts coast to coast. That effort's pretty good today, and look at what Brady did on that drive.
Yeah, 5 for 5 for 59 yards, and Randy Moss under a lot of criticism, not giving the effort in games against Miami and Carolina, sent home after coming to work late. I think Bill Belichick has done a good job of really helping them to understand you got to be rededicated and committed to playing every single play as if it were your last.
Rookie Mike Thomas will take it out right here. Montel Owens offers a block. Ninkovich is there to make the stop on the near side. As you see, 24-yard return. Well, they have so much respect for Belichick, especially what he has done in the month of December. As you take a look at Jack Del Rio, who's in a transitional year himself with his team.
And he wanted to prepare his very young team to come out here and play the Patriots, and he spent all week selling them on the fact that, hey, this is not the 2005 or 2007 Patriot team that went 16-0. He said he wanted to strip the mystique away from the team so his team could come out and relax. Well, down 28-0 at halftime, I tell you right now, they must think they're playing against a world champion team, and I believe they are. The Patriots are battling to win a world championship every single year.
6 defensive backs from the 26, 1st down and 10. Blocked by the tight end, 86, that's Zach Miller. There's a catch made by Mike Thomas, drilled by James Sanders. Pickup of 10. It'll be good for a 1st down to the 36-yard line. And it's a timeout for Jacksonville. Let's see. Yep, they'll burn their 2nd.
Watch number 59. I thought Guyton 59 could have the interception. That's a hit to the head.
We said this was a transitional season. All right, let's take a look at it. 32 new players from last year. 16 of them are rookies. And 10 of those players are playing significant roles with this team.
Especially on your offensive line. Guys like Eugene Monroe, Evan Britton that you talked about. Those are the bookends that are supposed to protect your quarterback. And so you've got young corners like Derek Cox and Terrence Knighton at the nose tackle position. I think Jack Del Rio has done a fabulous job coaching this team this year. They didn't expect to be contending for a playoff spot so late in the year, playing with such a young football team.
That's a good point. An uncertain season to begin with, having meaning at the very end.
He said he's had the most fun coaching this year more than any other year. Not having a whole lot of fun right now.
1st and 10 for Garrard. Thomas again. Wilhite is there and works his way to the 43-yard line. That's a pickup of 7 on the play. Young players like this Mike Thomas. He's a rookie out of Arizona. He is the all-time Pac-10 leading receiver. So as they get them involved, it's going to make this team stronger down the stretch.
I think this is a teaching moment for this football team. You talked about the young players, the new players coming. Down 28-0. Why not spread it out? Why not get the pass game going? See what you got in your quarterback, David Garrard. See what you have in your young receivers, Mike Sims-Walker and Mike Thomas, and allow these young players, even your young tight ends, to get going. I think you've got to be able to do things different. There's been other teams who've been able to make plays throwing the ball against the Patriots defense. I think you got to allow your offense to open it up and give them a chance being aggressive, getting the ball down the field.
6 defensive backs. Aside from Burgess, all linebackers. Garrard is hit 8 in a row, 2nd down and 3. Whistles over the head of Torrey Holt. Coverage on the play by Lee Budd. Let's take a look at the comparison of our 2 quarterbacks today. Brady, who's thrown the 3 touchdown passes, and Garrard.
And the 1 interception from David Garrard has been costly because the Patriots have turned it into points. And while he's completed 10 of 13 passes, look at the quarterback rating for Brady, 145.3, 3 touchdown passes on the day. Only 2 incompletions all day for Tom Brady. Remember, he completed his first 7 passes of the game.
3rd down and 3. Jacksonville is out of timeouts. Just before halftime here in Foxborough, where the Patriots are 7-0 this season. Here comes Burgess. Crumbling pocket. Banter Kane, who had 3 sacks last week, is there once again. Ninkovich was there. Loss of a yard. It is a sack. It will be back to the 43-yard line. So they talk about a team that doesn't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and they've done that the last couple of weeks. This Patriot defense.
And Dirk Cutter, the offense coordinator for Jacksonville, wanted to spread them out. They want to throw the ball down the field. They want to challenge that Patriots defense, but the protection has to be able to hold up. Remember, Jacksonville's playing with 2 rookie offensive tackles. Bill Belichick knows it. So you bring in a veteran pass rusher like Derek Burgess, and he comes right around the corner and beats the right tackle, Eben Britton, to put pressure on David Garrard.
So New England has called a timeout and 10 seconds to play. With a look at Jack Del Rio, who said to us earlier this week that he has studied a lot of what Belichick has done. He studied a lot of the ways he manages the game. He conducts training camp. He is one of his idols.
Yeah, and he goes for it on 4th down as much as Bill Belichick does. He knows the percentages and knows the odds. We've seen him do it earlier in this ball game, even though I wouldn't have done it.
Podlish will punt. It really set the tone for the game. And that baby will fall, and you see the time running out. We're at halftime here in Foxborough. And then to have this young team and to build week by week and to game plan the way he does has been it's as good a coaching job. Some people will say that he's had.
And to come out and win a division title in a year where you're supposed to be rebuilding tells you how good they're coaching up this football team.
Good point out of the end zone. Mike Thomas will bring it, and he swerves his way with Ninkovich at Kim. That's about his 3rd special teams tackle today out near the 26-yard line, returning it for 28. Or the first half possession for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 4 consecutive punts took him to halftime.
Yeah, and you can see that they're very anemic, just not able to sustain drives. That first possession, 8 plays were the longest of their possessions in the first half, and I think they've got to be able to sustain it. You have to go back to the running game. You can't totally get away from Maurice Jones-Drew, but really this game is now in the hands of their quarterback, David Garrard.
They're going to have 2 defensive linemen. In fact, Burgess will be down, so they've got Wright at the nose guard and Burgess outside. 1st and 10 for quarterback David Garrard. That's the tight end and a rookie out of Nebraska Omaha, Zach Miller. Gain of 8 on the play, and he's up to about the 34-yard line. And he was a college quarterback. They've converted him to a tight end.
You know, we say the game's going to be in the hands of David Garrard throwing the football down 28-0 at halftime. They got that means the game is also in the hands of their two offensive tackles, the rookies,
True.
Eugene Moreau and Evan Britton, because if they can't protect the quarterback, there's no way Jacksonville's going to be able to get back into the game.
5 defensive backs, including Will Height. 2nd down and 2. East Jones Drew, stuffed by Banzakane, coming off a 3-sack game last week against Buffalo. That's a gain of about a yard. He'll be near the 35-yard line.
Right now, you can see the improvement, I think, up front. Tully Banzakane is a guy that had 3 sacks 1 week ago against Buffalo, and they had 6 sacks in that game total. Prior to that, they really were struggling to get to the quarterback. He leads the team with 8.5 sacks this year. He had left his team via free agency and now come back this year and really been one of their best players in the front 7.
Sayao is in. 4 defensive backs. 3rd down and 1. Jones Drew hit by Merriweather. Brought down. Brandon's got an interception already today. And to the 35. They'll stop him there. He had to get the first down to the 36, and he's shy.
You think they're going to go for it on 4th down? We said Jack Del Rio and Bill Belichick love to go for it on 4th down, and Jack has studied all the percentages. He feels like it's something that they can convert. They failed on their first 4th down attempt, but they're going to go for it here early in the second half.
Pryor is coming as the nose guard here. 4th down and 1. Pryor takes it himself, the 2nd best rushing quarterback in the National Football League. A stout, hard guy to bring down, picks up 2, plows for the first down to the 37-yard line. That's one of the things that Bill Belichick talked about, was the running ability. Not necessarily on display right there, but overall, the running ability of David Garrard.
Oh, there's no doubt. Anytime you have a quarterback who throws the ball as accurately as David Garrard, doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, even though he has 1 in this game today. But when he can break down your defense by running the football, it just really makes it, I think, a difficult challenge to stop the quarterback from creating first down.
Burgess outside, right inside, 1st and 10. 5 in the secondary. Jones Drew, Gerard Mayo. Brings him down 40-yard line, and that's a pickup of 4 on the play.
Yeah, Mayo is locked up in coverage. You can see 51 over to the right side. Locked up in coverage against Maurice Jones-Drew. Okay, if you're a linebacker, you say he's quicker and faster than I am. So, yeah, he's going to make the catch. But what you can't give up is yards after the catch, and Mayo did what he does best, make tackles, which is why he leads the football team in that category.
Still the nickel on 2nd and 6. Wilford, the tight end, with the block. Here's Jones. They're going to run him all day long, aren't they? He is a pocket Hercules, and he takes it down to the 42-yard line of the New England Patriots, and brought down on the play by Guyton.
What you love about Maurice Jones-Drew, first guy doesn't get the tackle. Watch Will Height come up, try to make this tackle. Look, make him miss. 2nd guy misses. And now he's to the 3rd level of your defense. Mayo has to catch him from behind in order to get him down.
That was a 17-yard catch and run. Jaguars have run only 1 play in Patriots territory. Deepest penetration right here, the 42. Jennings in the backfield with the 1st and 10. Hit as he throws. It's Jennings, who began at Pitt and transferred to Liberty, and goes right into the defense of Brandon Merriweather and climbs into his defense for 13, picks up the first down to the 29.
You might say, okay, well, now why are they able to move the ball when they weren't able to move the ball before? I think, for one, they weren't spreading out this defense. Number two, the protection for David Garrard was not holding up. Both things are happening now at a level in the second half that we didn't see happening in the first half, and David Garrard's getting the ball out of his hands.
Burgess on the wing. Pryor in the middle. Right is out. 1st and 10. And this is caught. Jennings again. Big time hit by Sanders. The ball was yard free. They're going to mark him down at about the 24-yard line. Juggled the ball. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass, but watch Garrard. So he's not going to get caught holding the ball. The pressure's there. The pocket's collapsing. He takes a lick, but only after he's gotten rid of it, and Jennings not able to hold on to it. That ball was never caught or secure.
I was curious to see if the loss of their great blocking fullback Greg Jones would affect this team a little bit. Sure it does, on the field of practice, in the locker room, and sometimes in the running game.
And a lead, blocker for Maurice Jones-Drew. He's a guy that can change the line of scrimmage, taking out the linebackers to clear a path for MJD.
9th play of the drive, 2nd and 10. Here comes Maurice Jones-Drew, and stuffing him is Pryor. He was a 4-year starter at Kentucky and a 6th-round pick. He's a rookie. It's a gain of 2 to the 27.
And now we're going to be faced with that 3rd long opportunity that we talked about that doesn't intimidate the Jacksonville Jaguars. We haven't seen Mike Sims-Walker get involved in the offense. Torrey Holt, they've gone to him a couple of times, and I'm sure Jack Del Rio knows how important this first possession here in the second half is for his football team.
Ninkovich is in. Burgess will be the only down lineman. Look at all the linebackers. 3rd down and 8. They did a lot of this last week in Buffalo. A sidearm job, and that was caught by Mike Sims-Walker. Just talking about him. Merriweather is right there, the former #1 pick out of Miami. It's a 9-yard gain. They'll spot him at the 18.
David Garrard holds onto this ball to the very last second. Well, look, he knows that he's going to get a hit, but see, he sort of lobbed it up there and allowed Mike Sims-Walker to run under it. And there's the hit. Boy, has he taken a lot of these during the course of this season.
Been sacked a lot too. We haven't talked about his battle off the field with Crohn's disease, which has been something that he has won and is maintaining and managing right now, but that was debilitating earlier in his career. 1st and 10 from the 18. Screen, Thomas, Redwell, Gerard Mayo, gain of 4. Mark him at the 14-yard line. There's Mayo, former Defensive Rookie of the Year in the National Football League.
He's a very good football player, high football IQ. This is a complex defense they run with the New England Patriots, and boy, does he get it. And everybody talked about, well, he's not making the same number of plays as he did last year. He's got a lot more on his plate. With a lot of those veterans that we talked about who played with him last year, you could just run around and make plays. Now he's got to be the thinking man or the brains of the defense, as well as going out and trying to make some plays.
4 linebackers, 1 down lineman on the far side. That's Burgess on the near side. Tully Kane on 2nd down and 6. They decide to run a little gain of 5 right there. You see Sanders at the bottom of that pile. And the stop on Maurice Jones-Drew. Sanders, they talked about him this week and how his communication in the secondary has been a big improvement for the defensive coverage for New England.
Well, think about it. Someone had to step up in the absence of Rodney Harrison. You need a guy like James Sanders to step up and make some plays. Take a look at the drive so far. 5 runs, 7 pass plays. Ball is in the hand of David Garrard.
3rd and 1. Jacksonville has struggled in the red zone this year. Jones-Drew. He was slowed down by Mike Wright, who had just checked in. You can see that the avalanche of defenders coming through and making the stop, including Junior Seau. That's a gain of 2. Junior Seau in his 20th year in the National Football League, and still plays with the enthusiasm of a guy who's been in the league 2 years.
I don't know how he does it. How does the body keep going? Remember, he came out of USC after his sophomore season. You know, he was a young guy when he came into the league. He's gotten everything out of it. 40 years of age, same age as Brett Favre, but he's a linebacker, not a quarterback.
Same age as you and I. 1st and goal at the 7. Jones-Drew at the side of Garrard. Oh, what a great read by Junior Seau, but then Garrard took it on the fake and dives to the 5, where he was brought down by Myron Pryor on a gain of 2. A deceptive move, and Seau thought he had really struck gold.
Look at Seau, just coming right in the middle, shooting again, makes the tackle. Too bad that Maurice Jones-Drew did not have the ball if you're the Patriots, because his instincts were correct. He had to tackle one guy. He didn't know that Garrard was going to keep it. He decided to tackle the running back and allow the quarterback to go free.
That was the Trojan against a Bruin. USC against UCLA. 2nd and goal at the 5. 8-minute drive to begin the second half from the 5. Jones-Drew a block this time. Sanders was there, and they were going for the rookie tight end, Zach Miller, across the middle.
See, the problem is David Garrard cannot step up in the pocket. The pocket is disintegrating so quickly. And give the Patriots credit, they're not going to allow him to grow comfortable in the pocket, so they're going to pressure every gap. They're bringing pressure off the edges. Belichick's bringing pressure up the middle into the face of David Garrard. Remember, you have to contain him because he's a mobile quarterback, but then you have to apply pressure in his face also to force him to throw the ball off his back foot.
This is the 16th play of the drive. 3rd and goal at the 5. A lot of defensive backs back there. 5 of them. Intercepted again. This is picked off by the veteran, Sean Springs. First interception of the season. Falk in the backfield. Neal still playing that right guard. 2nd down and 6. We have seen Conley at that right guard a bit today. Sammy Morse. And brought down by Harvey. It was a gain of 2. And they'll put him, Solomon, at the 16-yard line. So this New England offense, which has been looking for an identity, has been very inconsistent and looking for the right mix, if you will. And Tom Brady puts himself right at the core of that issue. Has seemingly found some of these things over the last couple, but especially today against Jacksonville.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And he said it starts with a week of practice, and he had not been able to practice leading up to the last few games because whether it's a finger injury or the shoulder injury, he's battled some nagging body parts, and the fact that he could get on the practice field, he said it's very important for quarterbacks.
3rd down and 4. Here comes Groves. Good tuck by Brady. First down pass to Welker. How about that? That was amazing. Middleton touched him. 7-yard gain. That is a first down to the 24.
He comes free. Now you got to get the sack. I mean, if you come free, you got to get to the quarterback. Look at Grove. He just whiffed on the play, and if you're last in the National Football League with only 14 sacks coming into this game, when you get your hands on the quarterback, you've got to grab and hold on to make sure you get him on the ground.
It is a first down. Interesting numbers on Welker. Falk in the backfield with Brady. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes today, 2 to Moss, 1 to the tight end, Baker. Gopin with the snap. Watson with the block. Moss with the catch. Cox with the tackle. And about the 44-yard line. Good strike, 20-yard gain. Brady through the air has been terrific. 17-19 for 187.
Oh, he just puts this one up for Moss. There's a lot of trust to just throw this one up, knowing that Moss is going to come down with it, working against the rookie. He did a double move on Derek Cox, but it's just a jump ball situation for Moss. He rewards Tom Brady by going up at the highest point for the ball and coming down with it. He's been facing a lot of double and triple team coverage still, yet another 1,000-yard season.
Morris in the backfield, 1st and 10. Brady has hit his last 10 through the air. Edelman on the move, former quarterback in college. There's a block by Moss for his teammate Roman, who sneaks up the side, goes into Reggie Nelson, who didn't start today after ineffective play. Manning took advantage of him last week, as did the Colts. 11-yard gain right there to the 45.
And watch 81 Randy Moss out in front. See this block here? I just think that's phenomenal against Derek Cox. And that's what they want from Randy Moss all the time. But, boy, they're getting his best play at the right time of year. I think he's one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game.
Bound for Canton.
Oh, there's no doubt. I think the numbers would suggest that.
1st and 10. Yeah, the numbers would back that up. Morris in the backfield. Brady is really on a roll. And Morris knocked down there by Smith. You said something interesting a couple minutes ago, and that gain is to the 45-yard line. They'll stay right there. About reps and how Brady felt that this week he was getting his reps. If you take a look at some of the numbers associated with today's game, Manning is a big rep guy. I don't know any great athlete that has not been a rep guy.
Particularly at the quarterback position. If you're going to function at a very high level, you have to have the reps during the week. You have to gain that rhythm, the chemistry, and then the trust, where that when you get into a game, now you're not thinking. It's almost as if the body takes over. It's on autopilot. You can operate with a high level of consistency when you've had the work in practice.
2nd and 10. There's a block by Light, or maybe a miss by Considine. Read it well, the ex-Eagle. The offensive injuries for Jacksonville we're going to tell you about with Falk in the backfield. Here comes Groves, and Brady moves up niftily. Julian Edelman will fly inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line, where he is brought down. Considine along with a couple on a 28-yard gain. Make the stop. Edelman, a 7th-round pick out of Kansas State, was a college football quarterback.
Yeah, and now he's the 3rd receiver you were asking for.
Sure.
Earlier, Kevin, and look at him catch the ball over the middle. Almost Wes Welker-like in his ability to run those option routes and dominate over the middle of the field. And when you can have this many weapons, we've seen both tight ends make some plays, Benjamin Watson, Chris Baker, and then Randy Moss and Wes Welker. You get Edelman going now. Who are you going to double cover? I think they're going to eat you alive either way.
And Brady has been right on the screws today. Here's a handoff on 1st and 10 to Morris. He's got a 1-yard touchdown run already. He's tackled by Gerald Alexander, the ex-Lion, in the backfield. It's a 7-yard pickup down to the 12-yard line. And that may be the final play of the quarter. It is. Brady's going to walk off. We're going to count it down from 24. It'll be 2nd and 3 when we come back. And Tom today, 3 touchdown passes. Moss has caught 2 of them. And 2 turnovers by Jacksonville. And it would look like we've got a champion in the AFC East.
And he really has rooted for them ever since week 3 at the beginning of the season.
It's 2nd down and 3, and they blow that dead. As you see, a false start. It's going to go on the New England Patriots.
False start. offense. Number 76, 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Old Sebastian, the second-round pick out of Houston, picking that up. And here's what Taylor has done this year. He's been inactive for 9 straight weeks because he had some torn ligaments in his ankle. He had surgery, so he has been out. He's had one 100-yard game this season. It was earlier in the year. It was against Atlanta.
If they can get him going down the stretch as they go into the postseason,
that's a good point.
It's a lot of trouble for their opponent.
That's a very good point. Second down and 8. The fake that Taylor is being chased is Brady by Smith. They go inside. That's a touchdown for Moss. His 3rd today. The 4th touchdown pass by Brady. Moss lunging in on a 17-yard strike.
They had a play fake on to Fred Taylor. Watch, everyone follows Fred Taylor to the left. Yeah, stop Freddie. Let's leave Randy Moss one-on-one against the rookie quarterback, and Moss is able to stretch that ball just across the goal line before he hits the ground for his 3rd touchdown of the day. We told you they had awakened a sleeping giant by being highly critical of Randy Moss, and boy, has he answered.
This has the shades of that Tennessee game. It was 59-0 in the snow here earlier in the year. And in a game that had playoff implications both ways. And for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who it's been like a playoff game for a while now for them, just to stay buoyant and stay alive. Now there's a challenge by Jack Del Rio. He's going to see if maybe the knee of Moss was down at the 1 before he got that ball across the line.
Look at the numbers for Tom Brady.
Isn't that amazing?
2 incompletions after attempting 23 throws.
Jacksonville is challenging the ruling on the field of a touchdown. After review, the ruling on the field stands.
I'm convinced they couldn't tell. I mean, the picture just did not. It was inconclusive.
Yeah, it was inconclusive. 3 touchdowns on the day for Randy Moss, answering the critics, really putting out, and Jack Del Rio knew that this was a guy that could really light you up. He came into today's game with 10 touchdowns, 3 on the day, gives him 13 for the year.
If his effort was there.
The support from the quarterback, Tom Brady. He supports his #1 weapon. Remember how many years he had lobbied for the coach to go out and, hey, go get me some playmakers. And in the same year, in that 07 season, they bring in both Wes Welker and Randy Moss. And boy, if they paid off big time.
Here's Thomas from the 5. And then Arrington will bring him down. Remember how Brady probably could have signed even for more money. Trailing 35-0 here early in the 4th. Jennings in the backfield, and Garrard is under center. 6 defensive backs for New England. Jennings by Mayo, slashing his way into the secondary, and finally brought down by Merriweather. That's an interception today. That's a 22-yard explosion to the 48-yard line of New England.
How about Rashard Jennings? Look at that, finding the seam right here. And look at him just continuing to press the hole. Had a couple of directions and ways that he could have gone as he was running very hard through the hole.
Jennings with the block here, buying time for Garrard, who finds his rookie receiver Thomas at about the 29-yard line. Merriweather there to make the stop. 19-yard pickup there.
David Garrard got this offense moving. They moved the ball at times, but it has been the turnovers that's been costly for David Garrard and the Jacksonville offense.
Jennings remains in the backfield. 1st and 10. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. That's a great catch made downfield by Nate Hughes, who makes the grab right there. Hughes with the ball.
Yeah, good catch. And what about the throw over the defender? Brandon Merriweather thought he had a pick. It was high, and Hughes went up and got it. So a good throw by David Garrard, and then an even better catch by Hughes.
Lee Bowden was defending and made the stop, so gains through the air of 22, 19, and 20 yards. 1st and goal at the 9. And trying to preserve that shutout, which is important to everybody from Belichick all the way right down.
There's no doubt about it. It is a source of pride.
Jones-Drew in the backfield. Here's Thomas in the flat, dancing with real height. Did he get over? Yes. Oh, I thought maybe he got over, but no, at the 2-yard line, knocked over. I thought he got over. I might challenge that play.
One official was beginning to signal a touchdown, while the other one said no. They looked at each other and figured they had to be on the same page. See if he got the ball across the pylon before going on. That's a touchdown. See, he would signal a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think it's a touchdown. Feet are in bounds. Well, let's see if that heel hit.
That right foot,
but the ball certainly crossed the pylon.
Second and goal at the 2, and Jones Drew is in. Uh-oh. Here comes Burgess. He evades him. That's a touchdown run for quarterback David Garrard. His third of the season. A 2-yard touchdown run, and the shutout is gone.
The mobility in terms of what Bill Belichick feared the most. He can break you down by moving. Look at that, making defenders miss. 1, 2, 3, and then just drag the rest of the guys right into the end zone. Really good play by David Garrard to put Jacksonville on the board.
I think he was hurt. In fact, he was trying to come back out, and the coaching staff said get back out there, and he did. And of course, he takes it in for the 6. And now here is Josh Scobie to try and tack on one more. On the hold, it was a good one. Fred Taylor in the backfield. This is a 1st and 10 on the touchback at the 20-yard line. Smith knocked a chance for that pass to go to the near side. They go to the far side, looking for Fred Taylor. Drops the ball, 2nd and 10.
Who is the team of the decade? Is it the team with the most rings in the Patriots, or the 115 wins this decade by the Colts?
That was a 2-yard run by Fred Taylor on 2nd down and 10. And it's the Colts, as you can see, in terms of wins. But I look at those SB rings down there at the end.
Yeah, 3 championship rings by the New England Patriots in this decade. But the 115 wins in this decade is the most ever in any decade by any given team. So I think this Super Bowl to be played in Miami right here on CBS might decide the argument.
You'll be on the sidelines for that game.
Yeah.
3rd down and 8 with Falk in the backfield. Watson on the move. Brady back to throw. Nice catch by Welker.
On the call.
What a catch. My goodness. Tackle is made by Tyron Breckenridge. Picks up 19 yards on the play. Welker, 13th catch of the day.
How about this? Tom Brady still firing away. And Wes Welker still catching anything that's thrown to him. Still almost able to make the defenders miss. And look how they open it up and create a seam in there. Behind Sam Aiken, he draws most of the coverage toward him, and Wes Welker makes good use of very small spaces to haul in the catch.
Taylor in the backfield, and a 1st and 10 from the 41. Fred Taylor, good block by Watson, and then tackled on the play. Looked like Ewood got a hand on him. Also Harrington, gain of 8 on the play. And look at that score as they start the 4th quarter in Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh had a 10-point lead. Now Baltimore has come storming back. And the Steelers, they've dropped some 4th quarter leads.
I think they've lost like 5 leads in the 4th quarter this season.
This one would be the most devastating, as a loss there would knock them out of the playoffs.
2nd down and 2. Edelman will be the 3rd receiver here. Aiken is out there. And Taylor remains in the backfield. Fred Taylor. Palmer with the block at the right tackle. And brought down on the play by Jeremy Navarro, a rookie out of Maryland. It's a gain of 4. He's down to the 47-yard line. And once again, a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
Though Baltimore, look at it, at 8-6, a win over the Pittsburgh Steelers would move them to 9-6. And boy, would that be huge for them. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, look at them clinging and talking about being in the hunt, clinging on for a wild card spot at 7-7.
It is tough, isn't it, Solomon, to capture that same emotion that may have possessed you the year before when you won a Super Bowl?
Oh, absolutely.
A little hangover perhaps for the Steelers, and a lot of injuries too, by the way. Polamalu was affected. Here's a 1st down and 10. That's Aiken, the ex-Buffalo Bill, driven out of bounds by Cox, 40-yard line. And a pickup of 7 on the plate. Just to extend that Wisdom of Solomon feature we just saw. If you go back to the 60s, Green Bay.
Yep.
Go back to the 50s, the Cleveland Browns. Back to the 40s, probably.
Dominant teams.
And probably Green Bay and Chicago in the 40s and 30s.
And none of them ever won 115 games in one decade.
Right.
That's a new NFL record set by the Indianapolis Colts. And Bill Belichick, his crew, they're just 4 games behind the Colts. They've won 111. This will be 112.
2nd and 3, and this is a run by Fred Taylor, who picks up 2 on the play. And But that book is worth reading if you're just even a football fan, because it's so detail oriented. Here's a 3rd and 1 and a gain of a couple on the play. Brady.
If you love football like Bill Belichick does, and you read that book, I think it sort of chronicles just how he was raised in the game. He was almost like a prodigy in terms of understanding this game at a very early age, being able to look at film and dissect offenses as well as defense. And that's what I don't think he gets enough credit for, what a great coach he is on both sides of the ball, not just on one side. I know everyone gives him credit for putting together real dominant defenses, but he can coach on the offensive side and at every single position on the football field.
9th play of the drive. Fred Taylor again. And Brian Ewu was there to make the stop. It's a gain of 4 down to the 32-yard line. And here is a team, a Patriot team, which is, let's see, they began the season 5-2. They hit the bye week. Then they went 4-3. In that span, they won 2 in a row. They lost 2 in a row, and they were trying to really find their way. It seems like today maybe they have hit their stride, and what a great time of the year to peak. What a great time to hit your stride.
And when you talk to the players, that's what they came here looking for today, more than just another division title. They were looking for a complete game, one that saw them play very well in all 4 quarters, and boy, have they found it.
The guard Conley was in the backfield leading the way for Taylor. Loss of a yard. Navarre jumps on the pile on that 2nd and 5. It's 3rd down and 6. Falk over with the block. Logan Mankins with the block. And he's down after a gain of 5 yards on the play with the tackle made by Quentin Groves, a 2nd-round pick 2 years ago out of Auburn. Kevin Falk has had a nice career and all-purpose yards leader in the history of this franchise, and a beautiful day. It's turned out to be a beautiful day after a ton of rain the last couple days here in the New England area.
What a beautiful facility. Look at the replica of a lighthouse. They have a wonderful shops and malls, a theater, and boy, what a palace Robert Kraft has built here.
It's 4th and 1. Brady again for the 2nd time taking that quarterback keeper and trying to plow some yards, and he gets the 1st down, a gain of 2 to the 25-yard line on the play. And the Hall of Fame, or the football exhibit that Robert Kraft and family have constructed here for the fans, and it's always about giving back to the fans.
And it's a great educational tour. I've taken the tour, and boy, it talks about the history of the New England area and the football team, but kids can come here on field trips and receive a tremendous education, learn more about the league, but they learn a lot about the area in which they live. And boy, talking about giving back, I don't know if anyone's given back more than Robert Kraft, and the fans here are more proud of this football team. And it really is, I think, the thing that binds everyone together. It pulls them all together. They come from everywhere just to flock here to Gillette Stadium on Sundays to watch their team play.
A late minute drive constructed by Brady today, who's thrown the 4 touchdown passes. He's 23 of 26. Here's a 2nd down and 5. Taylor had 5 in the previous play. It's a block from Conley, and then Smith, the linebacker, brings him down at about the 19-yard line. This is, of course, the 50th anniversary of the beginning of the old American Football League, and the Patriots, one of those franchises, one of the original 8. And so in going back to those days and honoring those players and those great Mavericks of that time, led by Lamar Hunt in Kansas City, you know, it's been that kind of exhibit and that kind of feel from these original 8 teams, which has been so fun to watch in this season.
And you can go through that museum built by Robert Kraft, and you'll see the old Boston Patriots and Gino Cappelletti and some of the great players that were a lot of fun to watch.
3rd and short 4. This drive began back at the 20-yard line on a touchback. Fred Taylor once again picking and poking his way. Alexander among a couple that make the stop. He's close to a 1st down on the play near the 15-yard line. And I'm sure for Fred Taylor, this has got to be some sweet revenge, playing on a team that's going to be significant at the end of this season, going into the playoffs. And now that he is healthy, he, like you said earlier, he could have a significant role.
He's one of those guys that's happy to get that hat and T-shirt. He said it's been 9 years since he played on the division winner. And he talked about it with us. He's as proud as anyone to be a member of the New England Patriots and to be a part of a winning season. Late in your career, you cherish these moments.
4th and 1. Conley in the backfield, the guard. He'll lead the way for Fred Taylor. He's got the 1st down.
For other players, and particularly at difficult times, and how to stay the course and help your coaching staff.
Taylor on the 17th play of the drive, and he's stuck right there by Smith at about the 9-yard line, and a gain of 3 yards. Clock now approaching the 2-minute warning, and that's what we'll take you to. So the New England Patriots, who have gone 7-0 at home this year, will finish this season, a perfect undefeated 8-0 at home. And Tom Brady will have won his 23rd consecutive home game. Sammy Morris with a 1-yard touchdown run. And those numbers, how that can't be 156.3, I do not know.
Wow,
that's amazing.
You can't get much better than that.
You can't. It's a perfect performance. He's 2nd down and 7 right now here at the 2-minute warning. And my guess is they will run this down, even though timeouts remain in multiples for both teams. And look at Moss, a great day for Randy. And as you said, I think very accurately before, maybe the Giant has been awakened here a little bit as they head into the most important part of the season.
Well, I think he's a proud football player, and anytime you start to be critical of a guy, they're going to prove you wrong.
Sammy Morris on 2nd down and 7. Groves and Avalanche players, Navarre all making the stop after a gain of a yard. Clock will continue to tick. So the New England Patriots are going to go to 10-5. Jacksonville will drop to 8-7, and virtually, there goes Brady. He's going to leave, and a nice standing ovation for him. Brian Hoyer, a rookie out of Michigan State, will check in. Brady with a spectacular game. You know, the relationship between a head coach and a quarterback is probably the single most important relationship on a team, and those guys are about as tight as you're going to find in the league, head coach and quarterback.
I believe it's very important, because who's going to go to the quarterback and say, here's what we need you to do? And you see, if the coach want to take the quarterback out of the game, I think it's okay. I think the quarterback can do what the coach tells him to do.
That's right.
No matter where you're playing.
Gain of 4 by Sammy Morris. Big drive right here, and look at that score with 9.5 to play. And again, the significance of that coming into today, the Patriots at 9-5, the Bengals at 9-5, fighting for that 3rd spot in the AFC playoffs. Both teams coming in with the same record. Conference records the same, 6-4 coming into today against common opponents, 2-2. Strength of schedule was the 4th tiebreaker, and when you got to that level, New England had a slight edge. Now New England is going to go to 10-5, and Cincinnati is fighting just to go by a 3 in whatever Kansas City Ball Club. On the handoff here on 4th and 2 for Jacksonville after being in training camp with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and losing the job to Byron Leftwich. A quick handoff and a pickup of 3 on the play, which will take us to the zeros on the clock, and a New England win, a 35-7 tough day for Jack Del Rio. In a playoff atmosphere for both teams coming in, it was the master, Belichick.